So in our previous class, we have learnt about the history of accounting. Means I mentioned a person's name. Who is that person? Who is known as father of accountancy? Who is that person?
Luca Paciano.
Okay. In which year he wrote the book?
1494.
Very good. Very good. So he is known as the father of accountancy. Define in your own way accountancy. What do you mean by accounting? Don't look at the book. You define in your own terms. Don't look at the book. Don't look at the notes. Simply you define what did you understand by accountancy.
Sir, which we maintain records about financial transactions.
Okay, very good. What do you mean by financial transactions?
It is related to money.
Very good. Change in financial position of a company, of a person, or of a business organization. It will be recorded in accountancy books or accounting books. Now, when we defined accounting, we came across some persons who are interested in accounting information. Who are those persons?
Owner, employee, government, and economist, and press.
Press,
and
sometimes bankers or insurers, or like that, several persons will be interested.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Then what are the sub-disciplines of accounting? What are the branches of accounting? We discussed, no? What are the branches of accounting? Financial accounting, cost accounting,
Management.
Management accounting. Very good. Financial accounting, cost accounting, and the management accounting. Okay. And apart from that, we discussed about qualitative characteristics of accounting information. That is reliability, okay, relevance, understandability, comparability. So up to this topic, it was over yesterday. Okay, you understood now? You understood very well, it seems. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So you are able to follow my lectures, no?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Now, based on the definition, based on the parties interested in accounting information, we will discuss objectives of accounting. What do you mean by objective? In the first class, you mentioned that you want to become an IAS officer. That is your objective. What do you mean by objective?
Aim.
Very good. Aim or goal. Okay. Your purpose. Purpose, aim, or goal. These are the synonymous terms to objective. Okay. See, the main purpose of writing information pertaining to economic activities is maintenance of records of business transactions. See, business transactions, you have to understand this word clearly. Business transactions implies only financial transactions. Okay. Economic activities, I told you in the initial class itself, activities are of two types: economic activity, non-economic activity. Economic activity refers to change in financial position, whereas non-economic activity does not involve in any change in financial position. Okay. So first and foremost objective of accounting is maintenance of records of business transactions. Okay. Suppose I came to know that you are a good singer. If any singing competition is coming in TV, you will watch it. Is anybody paying you money for watching?
No, sir.
No. Means out of your interest, out of your affection for music, you are listening it. You are following the program. So that is not a business transaction. That is not an economic activity. That is non-economic activity. Whereas recording of business transactions, which are of, it automatically implies that it is of financial nature only. So that is the first objective of accounting. Okay. our next objective of accounting will be calculation of profit and loss. See, I mentioned in the initial class itself, 4 kinds of items are very, very important. One is income. I mentioned these things. Income, expenditure, and what are the other 2? Assets and opposite of assets, liability. These are the 4 essential things that you are going to record in books. Okay. See, from income, if you deduct expenditure, you will come to know about profit. If expenditure is more, income is less, that is loss. Okay. If income is more, expenditure is less, that is profit. That's all. So if you maintain a proper record of income and expenditure of your organization, you can ascertain, you can calculate whether your organization is enjoying profit or whether your organization incurred loss. Okay. So that is one of the objectives of accountancy. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. See, this is shown in a diagram, means whatever we have discussed in the previous class: relevance, reliability, verifiability, faithfulness, neutrality, comparability, all these things. Okay. These are the qualitative characteristics of accounting information. Okay. Whatever we discussed, that is shown in a diagram. Okay. Next one, see, our objective I mentioned just now, profit or loss you will calculate. Similarly, another 2 are missing. The profit or loss can be ascertained, can be found out with the help of income, difference between income and expenditure. With the help of difference between income and expenditure, you can ascertain, you can calculate whether profit is there for the organization or loss is there for the organization. Okay. Then comes your assets, your position of your assets and position of your liabilities. How much you have to pay to others, that is liability. Okay. Then assets, I mentioned various kinds of assets. What are the various kinds of assets? Machinery, building, land, furniture. All these are assets to your organization. Cash balance, bank balance, like that. So this maintenance of record of assets and liabilities is primary objective of accounting. Without any record, you cannot identify what are your assets. You cannot identify what are your liabilities. How much you have to pay to others, you do not know if you do not maintain record. Similarly, how much others have to pay to you, that also you do not know if you do not maintain proper record. Okay. So depiction means exactly showing of financial position. With the help of financial accounting, you can show the financial position of the organization in accurate manner. Okay. Similarly, this is the objective, that objective of the financial accounting, which is repeated almost. See, providing accounting information to its users. Who are the users? Owners, government, or income tax authorities, bankers, insurance companies, or press or economists. These are the users of the accounting information. So providing information to them is also one of the objectives of accounting. Okay, so fundamentally, if you understand the concept of accounting well, you can write its objectives, you can write its advantages, you can write its disadvantages also. What are the disadvantages of accounting? Can you tell? Are there any disadvantages of accounting? Now, in these 2-3 classes, you came to know what do you mean by accounting? What are its features? Who are its users? Are there bound to be any defects or any faults in accounting? Any demerits did you identify?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Very good. Very good answer. But you see, I will tell 1 or 2 demerits of accounting. See, only I mentioned in the initial class itself, transactions can be financial transactions or non-financial transactions, monetary transaction, non-monetary transaction, economic activity, non-economic activity. See, non-economic activities we cannot record in accounting books. That is a limitation of accounting. Okay. No, that is one limitation. Another limitation, which you can easily, you have to answer that. If you are able to answer correctly, that is not a limitation. If you are unable to answer my question, then it will be limitation of accounting. Please remember. Okay. I will tell you one example. Okay. Now let us take, for example, you purchased one TV by paying 50,000 rupees. LED TV you purchased. Okay, you paid 50,000 rupees. Okay, is it clear? Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. See, after 10 years, you want to sell it. Okay, so you are maintaining good record of your activities. So you mentioned in your notes that you purchased in your financial records that you purchased a TV worth 50,000 on 9th June. You mentioned clearly. Okay, but after 10 years, you want to sell it. Now you tell me what should be its value in the market. At what price you want to sell? Is it more than 50,000 or it is less than 50,000?
Less than 50,000.
Very good. Now you see. Okay. See, on that particular day, means in the year, let us take for example, 2035. The TV's rate in the market is same 56 inches TV or 55 inches TV, whatever TV is there. On that day, market price is 1,50,000. New TV price, same your TV company branch, same size, same features. Its price is 1,50,000. But you want to sell it for, let us take for example, you are selling because you are selling after 10 years of usage, you sold it for 20,000. Let us take for example. Is it clear? You sold it for 20,000 rupees. Now you tell me, is it profit for you or loss for you? You enjoyed 10 years with the TV. You watched various programs. You purchased it for 50,000. You sold it for 20,000. Is it a profit or loss for you?
Loss.
Loss, you are saying. See, how can you say that? How can you say? Because in the market, its price is, current price is 1,50,000. So if anything less than 1,50,000 is loss for you, you are assuming. Is it? But you are unable to calculate the 10 years usage value. That is because you cannot exactly estimate how much you used of the life of the TV. Are you catching my point? How much you utilized the service of the TV over the 10 years span of time, you are unable to calculate exactly. Means this is what type of asset to you? It is fixed asset to you. See, assets can be fixed assets and current assets. See, fixed asset means it will help you for more than 1 year. It will serve you for more than 1 year. All those assets are fixed assets. Means your buildings, your furniture, your machinery, your land. You will enjoy it for more than 1 year. You will enjoy the value for more than several years. Those are fixed assets. So while calculating on any fixed asset, normally you will have depreciation. Depreciation means decrease in value. Okay, 50,000 worth value TV. The immediate next day, if you sell in the market, means nobody will pay you 50,000. Please remember, even if you used or not, same sealed box, you returned, you don't want to watch because unexpectedly your sister also purchased the same TV. She want to surprise you as a birthday gift. She also brought the same 50,000 rupees TV to you, same features, same everything, same. The next day itself you want to, because 2 TVs you cannot accommodate in your house. So you want to sell it. Nobody will pay you same 50,000 rupees. Because automatically they will feel it as second hand. Whether you used it or not, it is immaterial. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
So whatever depreciation is there, how much value you utilized, you cannot guess exactly. You cannot estimate properly. That is only guesswork. Means that is arbitrariness is going to be there in accountancy. Arbitrariness means not fixedly. Nobody can say how much you use it, how much it's a life you use it. Okay. In the subsequent classes, when we do problems, you will come to know about it, how to calculate a depreciation. Depreciation is nothing but calculation of decrease in value of an asset. How much it decreased, there are various methods of calculating depreciation. There is no fixed method. So there are different methods. See, in mathematics, if 2 plus 3 means, even on Himalayan mountains, the same 5 answer will be there. Even if you go to space, same 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, anybody will say. But in accountancy, when you are writing business transactions, in certain cases, arbitrariness will be there. Means there is no fixed conclusion. Some will say that this much value you should depreciate because you used it this many years. There is no fixed formula. Exact formulas are not there. Okay. So calculation of depreciation is difficult. That is one of the limitations in accounting. Similarly, you cannot exactly calculate for inflationary trends. What is inflation? What do you mean by inflation? Inflation means increase in price. Okay, every year prices will increase. You take the case of land, you take the case of any fixed assets, or you take the case of even notes also. Last year you must have purchased notes for 30 rupees. Now the shopkeeper will say 35. That is what you mean by saying inflation. Inflation means increase in price. Okay, so for inflation also there is arbitrariness. There is no fixed method of calculating inflation. So these are the limitations of accounting. Okay. Similarly, not only that, see, in your village, so many kirana shops must be there. Are they maintaining any accountancy records exactly pakka they are maintaining? Are they maintaining?
No, sir.
No. Why? Because it involves cost. An accountant needs to be there. See, exactly, if you purchase, you go to shop and purchase milk packet. Are you asking for any bill from him?
No, sir.
No, even though we are educated, nobody will wait for a bill actually. We will not ask. That is, a poor shopkeeper does not have any bill form printed actually. There is no bill book with him. So for establishing accounting procedures in an organization, it requires a cost. It requires human resources. One accountant should be there. One computer system should be there. There should be some systematic establishment should be there. It involves high cost. So these are the limitations of accounting. Even though that is not covered, I just mentioned. Okay. So this is the role of accounting. Role of accounting means whatever advantages are there that you mention, you can mention as role of accounting. What are objectives you can combine with advantages. Okay. So these now we come to some basic terminology in accounting. This you should be able to understand. Okay. Basic terms in accounting. See, entity means a business organization. Any business organization is known as entity. Now you see, suppose you just now in our example, I mentioned a kirana shop. Okay. See, if kirana shop wala, that shopkeeper does not maintain proper records. Suppose he is selling rice, he is selling dal, he is selling palli. These 3 items we will take for your easy understanding. Let us take for example. Okay. So palli is he purchased 50 kilo to sell. Suddenly his wife came from inside the house and she has taken 2 kilos of palli from the shop. He does not maintain any record properly. Because just now we discussed about the limitations of accounting. He does not maintain any record. So on pallis, suddenly his wife has taken 2 pallis. His children are there. Without informing the father, 2 children ate 2 kilos of pallis. Okay, total 4 kilos they have consumed. But that you are not recording here. So what happens? At the end, when he calculates exactly whether there is profit on sale of pulleys or loss on sale of pulleys, means he cannot properly calculate. So that is why whenever a business organization is established, in order to know exact profit, the accounting, the subject of accounting treats individual different from business organization. So individual is different from business organization. So Kirana shop is different. The business owner is different. Only then he can exactly calculate whether there is profit on the sale or loss is on the sale. Even if wife takes 2 kilos, he has to mention in notes, pulleys sold to wife. Only then exactly he can calculate whether there is profit is there on sale or loss is there. So that is what the concept of entity, business entity means. Entity means any organization. It may be sole trade. Sole means single person. In our villages, we will see only the owner, single owner is going to be there. He will maintain. So sole proprietorship, we will say. Sole proprietorship is there. Partnership is there. Partnership means more than 2 persons. Then company form of organization is there. Then company means we are all using laptops or desktops or cell phones, mobile phones. Big companies are required to produce them. Okay, those are all entities. Entity means a business organization established with an objective. Mainly, normally I mentioned in the previous class also I mentioned, majority of the organizations are profit motive. That is main objective of a business organization. Okay, with a profit motive. Only non-profit organizations are going to be established for the benefit of the society at large. Okay, or certain sections of the society at large. Okay, then transaction. What do you mean by transaction? Transaction in accounting terminology implies any activity between entities, means between organizations, between persons, involving finance, involving monetary benefit or monetary loss. Okay, only those can be termed as transactions. I mentioned only one of the limitations of accounting is only financial transactions can be recorded. Non-economic activities we cannot record. Okay, so this is the basic terminology. Entity means organization. Transaction means any economic activity involving certain value. Some monetary value should be there. Okay, asset. Asset means, what is asset? It is a resource. In simple terms, you can see it is economic resource of an organization. Okay, I mentioned, you have to remember this. Assets are basically up to several kinds of assets are there. In subsequent classes, we will learn about them. But for our easy understanding, I mentioned fixed assets and current assets. Okay, current assets, they will change frequently. See, suppose I went to bazaar with 200 rupees in my packet. I went to Kirana shop. Okay, I went to more supermarket. I purchased something. Immediately 200 rupees will change to 50 rupees. 150 rupees is gone in the supermarket purchase. Whereas fixed assets, my house will not change every day. My land will not change every day. Furniture will not change every day. They will be with me for several years together. Whereas current assets frequently change. Did you understand? So this is just for our understanding, for our minimum understanding. I mentioned other kinds of assets are also there. Assets can be another division. I will tell you. See, this is fixed asset, current asset. Okay, first type of classification. Again, next type of classification is tangible, intangible. Tangible means what? Intangible means what? Tangible asset, intangible asset. Tangible means you can touch it. Okay, your TV is there, you can touch it. Your laptop is there, you can touch it. Your mobile phone is there, you can touch it. They are tangible assets. Intangible means you cannot touch them. Suppose, for your easy understanding, I will tell you one example. You got a very good job. You after 5 years, or after 7-8 years from now onwards, you become an IAS officer, and you want to take sweets to your family from Hyderabad directly. So which shop you will go?
Sweet shop.
Oh yes, which sweet shop you will go in Hyderabad? Which sweet
Sir,
shop? Huh?
I didn't get you, sir.
You became an IAS officer after 7 years. From now onwards,
Okay.
you want to enjoy the day with your parents, with your family members. And immediately from Hyderabad, you want to take to your house sweets. One sweet shop you want to visit immediately. What is the famous sweet shop in Hyderabad?
Agra sweet, sir.
Agra sweet. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Agra sweet or Pullareddy sweet, whatever it may be, sweet shop, immediately you will go. See, that is what several, see, in your rooms or in your hostels front only, there will be several sweet shops, but you will not visit those shops. You will go to Agra sweet shop, which is 10 kilometers away from, or it is Pullareddy sweet shop, which is 15 kilometers away from. Why? Because the organization has good name that is known as,
Yes,
in
sir.
accounting terminology, it is known as goodwill. Goodwill. Goodwill means good name and fame of the organization in the society. This is an asset to the organization. It will attract customers to the organization. Okay, did you understand? So you cannot touch it, you cannot see it, you cannot smell it. So this is intangible asset to the organization. Did you understand? So assets,
Yes, sir.
fixed assets, current assets. Assets can be tangible asset, intangible asset. Tangible asset, you can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it. Intangible asset, you cannot touch it, you cannot see it, you cannot feel it. But the benefits your organization will get. For example, goodwill. Okay. So these are the basic terminologies. Some more terms we will see if at all they are there means. Okay. Assets, non-current assets, current assets. See, here it is mentioned non-current assets. Fixed assets are otherwise known as non-current assets. Okay. Fixed assets, again, you can see tangible asset, intangible asset, capital, work in progress, intangible assets under development. Okay. This is a different kind of classification of current assets and fixed assets. Okay. Non-current investment, deferred tax assets, long-term loans and advances, other non-current assets. These are non-current assets. Means I mentioned as current assets and fixed assets mainly. Okay. And again, current assets are known as current investment in bank balance. Inventories means that is raw material or work in progress. Those are known as inventory. Okay. Trade receivable means debtors. Somebody has to pay you money. That is current assets. It will change. See, we are maintaining Kirana shop means every day you are going to sell on credit basis to somebody. Okay. Every day the balance will change. Okay. That is trade receivables. Cash and cash equivalents. Cash balance, every day it will change. Short-term loans and advances. You gave money to somebody on short-term basis. 1,000 rupees, 500 rupees. Your neighboring shop wala asked. It will change the balance. Every day it will change. Okay. Other current assets are going to be there. This is classification, another kind of classification. Okay. In the subsequent classes, when we do problems, you can easily understand this terminology. Okay. For the time being, you remember assets are classified into mainly current assets, fixed assets, tangible assets, intangible assets. Okay. And liabilities. Liability, I mentioned with an example. In the previous class, you have asked. Liability means when you have to pay something to somebody, that is a liability. Liability means it is an obligation or debt that an enterprise has to pay, that a business organization has to pay. Obligation means something it owes to others, something it has to pay to others. Okay. Just like fixed assets, current assets, in a liabilities also, current liabilities are there, non-current liabilities are there. Current liability means every day they will change, just like current assets. Okay. We have taken money from somebody else. Tomorrow we will repay. Just only for one day it will be with us. Okay. It will change every day. Whereas for long term, we will take loans from banks, from insurance companies, or from friends and relatives. We are constructing house up to 5 years, I cannot repay. So you take a long-term loan. That is non-current liability. Okay. So in assets also classification is there. In liabilities also classification is there. Liability means obligation to pay something to others. Okay. Or debt, or owing something to somebody else. Okay. Then next one is capital. What do you mean by capital? To establish any business organization, we require capital. What is capital? Capital means, in simple terms, it is investment. Investment required. Okay. So it may be in monetary terms, or it may not be in monetary terms. Sometimes you want to establish business organization. So money is required. Similarly, land is required. Rooms are required. Furniture is required. Directly, your capital will be in monetary form, and these are all in non-monetary form. Did you understand? So capital is investment. Capital means investment. Investment includes money as well as other resources. Okay. Now, next term is that you show sales. What do you mean by sale? Sale and purchase. When we go to shop, we will purchase. It is purchase for us. For the shopkeeper, it is sale. What is sale? When a business organization provides something to customers, in return, customers will pay the business organization money. Okay. So that results in sales to the business organization. The same transaction results in purchases to the person who has purchased, who has visited the shop. Did you understand? Okay. That is.
Yes.
Okay. So when sales is there, automatically you are going to get revenue. Revenue means it is the amount generated by the transaction, by any transaction, by sales. For any business organization, they want to increase revenue, but nobody wants to increase expenditure. Revenue means income generated, whereas expenditure means cost incurred, in simple terms. Okay. When you are incurring some expenses, means you are incurring some costs. When you purchase pen, when you purchase notes, that is an expenditure. Expenditure means some cost to you. Okay. So expenses and expenditure, same. Spending money is nothing but expenditure. You are incurring expenses means it is expenditure. That's all. Okay. Incurring expenses itself is expenditure. Okay. Spending money. Okay. Next, profit. What is profit? Excess of income over expenditure is profit. Excess of revenue over expenses is profit for the organization. Okay. A gain generally, gain and profit, you think both of them are same, somebody will think, but they are not same. Gain means, see, in our previous example, I mentioned, one TV you sold it. 50,000, for 50,000 you purchased it, for 20,000 you sold it. So if you enjoyed profit on the transaction, that is a gain for you. If you incurred loss on that transaction, that is not gain for you. So gain is a term that is associated with selling of fixed assets after its usage period is over. Okay. If you enjoyed more benefit than expenditure on that one, that is gain for the organization. Okay. So exactly opposite to this one is, opposite to profit is loss. If expenditure is more, income is less, that is loss for the organization. Okay. If expenses are more, income is less, that is loss. Okay. Then discount. What is discount? When we go to shop or online purchases, you will immediately open Amazon and you will see what is the discount. What do you mean by discount? Discount means, in simple terms, a reduction in the price. Reducing in price is known as a discount. Reducing or deduction in the price of goods is a discount. Okay. Voucher. What is voucher? Just now, 10 minutes ago, I mentioned the example of a Kirana shop. When we purchase milk from a Kirana shop, are we asking any receipt for that one? We are not asking. So if we ask receipt, if we have a documentary evidence for our transaction, that is voucher. Okay. If we deposit, we go to physically, we go to bank and we deposit money, means he will give a voucher to us. He will give a proof to us, a receipt to us. So any documentary evidence supporting a transaction is voucher. Okay. Then goods. What do you mean? Very good. See, in the previous class, due to a technical problem, I could not explain the difference between goods and services. Here it came again. Okay, their power went off, so I could not again continue that point. Now here it came, goods and services. See, both are not same. At that point of time, I was explaining, in your house, electricity is there. Okay, electricity is there. You have switchboard, you have wires, you have fans, you have TV, everything which is associated with electricity. So those are all goods. You can physically see them. You can touch them. You can repair them. But inside electric wire, electricity will be passing. Can you touch it? Can you touch?
No.
Touchability is also there, but it is very dangerous. Okay. So that is service to us. So inside that one, another example I will tell you. Cylinder is there. Cylinder, gas cylinder. You can see the cylinder itself. That's all. You cannot see the gas inside the cylinder. Can you see? You cannot see. That is a service.
No.
The service cannot be seen. Service cannot be touched. But goods can be seen. Goods can be touched. That is the difference between goods and service. Okay, when you go to doctor, doctor will provide you service. He will not offer you any goods. He will prescribe you medicine. He will give you medicine. He will give you injection. So you are receiving service from him. You cannot see what he has injected to you. Maybe the physical medicine you may see, but how it affects your body, you cannot see it. It is a feeling only. It is a service. That's all. So goods can be touched. Goods can be seen. Goods sometimes can be smelled. If we are unable to smell, means we have to feel now whether we are suffering from corona or not. Okay. Whereas services, we cannot touch. Okay. We cannot smell. We can just enjoy its benefit. That's all. Did you understand? So goods refers to products of the business organization in which the business unit is dealing. Why? Power went off?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we discussed about electricity, and electricity is also involved in our lecture, it seems. Next one is drawings. See, what do you mean by drawings? So just now, 15 minutes ago,
Taking money.
Oh, okay, very good. Withdrawing of money or withdrawing of goods. I mentioned the example, no? Shopkeeper's wife came and has taken 2 kilos of pulleys. And a shopkeeper's sons or daughters came to the shop and have consumed 2 kilos of pulleys. So that is example of drawings. Withdrawal of money or goods by the owner from the business organization is known as goods, drawings. Okay. Next, purchases. Purchase means
Buying something.
Buying something, very good. Procuring something or buying something from others is purchase. Okay. Stock is, what do you mean by stock? When we go to shop, we will ask whether stock is there or not. Suppose we have a fixed thing in our mind. We want to purchase a particular company's mobile phone or particular company's TV. We want to purchase. We will immediately inquire whether stock is there or not. Okay. Stock, another word is also there. For stock, it is inventory. Okay. It implies it is a measure of something on hand. Okay. Whether we are enjoying it at present or it will show. Okay. Stock means whatever that is there in store, it is stock. Okay. Whatever the thing, whatever the goods, whatever the commodities that we are enjoying now, it is all stock. Okay. Debtors. See, in this word, debtors, B is silent. You should not pronounce debtors. Okay. Debtors, B is silent. Debtor, you will say. Debtor means a person who has to pay you something else, who owes you. Okay. That is a debtor. He is a debtor or she is a debtor. Creditor means whom you have to pay. Opposite of debtor is creditor. Okay. I have taken money from you. I am your debtor, whereas you are my creditor. Did you get my point? I have taken money from you. You are my creditor. I am your debtor. I have to pay you money, whereas you have to receive money from you. So opposites, these are assets, liabilities, opposite. Debtors, creditors, opposite. Okay. What is the other terminology? So these are the questions. Okay. That's all. With this, we have completed the first unit. Did you understand? So in the first unit,
yes, sir.
In the first unit, what we discussed, we came to know about the father of accountancy. We have discussed the definition, characteristic features of accounting we have seen. The process of accounting cycle we have seen. Okay. Various terminologies that are associated with accountancy, we have discussed. Still, role of accountancy or objectives of accounting, we have discussed. Okay. Limitations, even though they are not covered, I just mentioned for our understanding. The division of assets and liabilities we have discussed. Okay. Who are the users of accounting information we have discussed. So all these are topics that were covered in our first unit. Are there any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So after the class is over, are you opening the book again? Online book?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm opening.
Any words you are unable to understand? Or are you able to understand all?
No, sir. I understood.
Okay. Shall I close now? Tomorrow I will start the second unit.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yesterday, did you watch the YouTube class?
Yes, sir. I watched.
Is it useful like that?
Yes, sir. It is very useful.
When problems will start means it will be very, very useful to you. Even if you miss any point, you can go back and you can watch later. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much, dear student.